Reddit, what's the funniest thing that a random stranger said to you that made you die laughing inside? I was at a 50th wedding anniversary party and there were lots of elderly people in attendance. An old man was standing next to me and said, "It looks like a freaking graveyard in here." I literally spit my beer out. We were outdoors. The kicker was the guy was close to the same age as everyone else. When I was around 10, my dad took my brother and me to a Sox game at Fenway. We get to the park and I was putting mustard on a hot dog from one of those mustard box push down nozzle things. This random guy next to me goes, "Yeah buddy, lather that B up." 10-year-old me thought it was about the funniest thing I'd ever heard, and I still chuckle when I think about it as an adult. I love random hype guys. Always turns out to be a fun story as long as the guy isn't totally insane. Once had a guy walk past me, point at my shoes and say, "I have those shoes, only mine are completely different." And he just kept on walking. Oh my gosh, I think I met the same guy, except they didn't say that and it wasn't a guy. I was in a large college seminar, so I never knew the people that I was sitting next to. This professor was known for being a bit of a willy, constantly switching up assignment due dates and tacking on extra work and or additional material to upcoming exams last minute. Professor did something dickish like the above and murmurs of disapproval annoyance spread through the aisles. The dude next to me leans into my chair and says to me, "This is a load of barnacles," in the same voice as the fish guy from SpongeBob that says the line. It was just perfect and unexpected. That sounds like best friend material to me. Watched a guy walking to class at my college years ago saying, "Get the frick out of my way," to a pigeon standing in his path. The pigeon quickly waddled off to the side. Little girl to me after I explain my service dog helps me when I'm sick. "Oh, so he's your dog too?" Me, trying to keep a straight face. "Yes, exactly." That's adorable. Something I overheard as two kids walked past our caravan park site, a rumbling boom of distant thunder. Kid 1, "I like thunder. It sounds like a 200-year-old dog who's retired and helps old people who are blind to get around." Kid 2, "Silence." Kid 1, "You know?" Kid 2, "But why is it retired?" Kid 1, "Because it's old." Kid 2, "But it's still helping blind people." Kid 1, "Silence." Freaking kids are so goddamn rational about the most absurd things. I love it. Just the other day checking out at the Cracker Barrel, the older gentleman ringing my wife up accidentally said, with all confidence, "Have a thank you." Speaking of wives and Cracker Barrel. Years ago when queuing up for movie tickets with my family, the attendant asked the ages of our 4 kids to see if they could all get children price tickets. I announced their ages, 7, 9, 11 and 13. Without missing a beat, the stranger behind us declared, "That's an odd group. They'll even out next year." I was rollerblading down a hill too fast and landed on my ass. Painful, sure, but not excruciatingly so. An old man walked by and said in the most jolly voice, "Is your behind okay, young lady?" I was shaking off laughter. My behind was okay, yes. I had to reread this because I seriously read it as, "I was rollerblading down a hill too fast, and my landlord was on my ass. Painful, sure, but not excruciatingly so. Good story though." An old man on the street with a big, jack-o'-lantern grin on his face and 2 chihuahuas under each arm loudly proclaiming to no one in particular, "I used to carry grenades. Now I carry dogs." A significant upgrade, of course. I was doing tech support over the phone for an internet company at a call center. I got a call from an elderly woman because her internet stopped working. After checking remotely that the modem was working and that there was no issues on her area, I was scheduling a visit from one of our technicians when she suddenly says, "Oh, I know what happened. The cat was playing around the router yesterday, right? You think it took a cable or something? No. He probably took away the Wi-Fi." "You mean like he moved the router?" No. He probably took the airwaves of the Wi-Fi. You know how cats see things we can't. He surely say the Wi-Fi signal, grabbed it and took it away." It took all my willpower to not laugh in her face and finish the call. I mean, you can't blame the cat. It gets battered by those bloody Wi-Fi airwaves all day, and probably misses having peace and quiet in the house. I have a 5.5-pound chihuahua. He's about as intimidating as a bunny rabbit. I was walking him on the grass along the road. A couple of walkers were coming near me and my dog started barking at them, so I picked him up. The guy says, "Thank you for picking him up. We were really scared." At first I read it as I am a 5.5-pound chihuahua and I was really confused there for a second. Man, I respect women. I would never ever hit a woman, but I'd cut a bee up. Homeless man. I ain't gay. I'd never let a man blow me, but I'd blow him for money. Same homeless man. He's my hero. I'll do anything. Homeless man. I'm in the bathroom at work washing my hands and one of the professors that I don't think I've ever actually spoken to comes in and starts washing her lanyard in the sink. I try to make small talk with work people even though I suck at it, so I try to strike up a conversation that goes down as follows. Morning. Ugh. I spilled coffee on my lanyard and now it's all sticky. Blah. That's the worst. At this point she turns off the faucet and looks at me completely deadpan with eyes that said she wanted to feed me my own innards and said, "I think genocide is worse." So I awkwardly mumbled "YKB have a nice day" and quickly escaped. It's turned into a running joke in my office now though. Anything from the printer being out of toner to a fire drill on a cold day is literally worse than genocide. It would have been funny if you paused for a moment of thought and said, "Nah, sticky lanyards are still the worst." White F. Used to work at a public library. A black guy asked if we had Diary of a Wimpy White Boy aka Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Racial tensions were high in this neighborhood, so it felt extra good to laugh with him. Working in a place where racial tension is high is always fun. A Subway, restaurant, worker in the hood. No so much said to me as overheard. Walking down the street with my fiance after dinner, a man and woman pass us. Very clearly I heard the man say, "Dut," and that's the second time I got crabs. I just keep a special little comb at the house now, just in case. I'm not sure of any particulars and have thought about that interaction often. So many questions. I know they heard me laugh though. I was at a gas station filling my truck with gas and overheard a guy yelling at his dog to move over in the car so his wife could get in. It went like this. "Man to dog, come on, get in the middle so mommy can get in." Dog starts yipping back at him as if she's arguing. "Man to dog, quit arguing me, I told you to get in the middle, you don't always get your way." Dog again yipping back at him. "Man to dog, if I have to tell you again you're not getting your jerky." Holds up a stick of beef jerky. Dog yipping while reluctantly moving to the middle. "Man to dog, okay, promise no more arguing me and you'll be a good girl." Dog yipping again. "Man to dog, okay, seal it with a kiss." Dog gives man kiss. Crap had me dying. This is amazing. Someone called me, said "piece of pizza" in a Mexican accent and hung up. I think what was said was already mentioned. It was probably pizza pizza like the Little Caesars slogan. Either way, it's hilarious. I fine young gentleman was once introduced to me as Big DK Kyle. A boy at my high school was known as the tripod. He has 3 testicles and everyone who wanted to had seen them. I was grocery shopping yesterday. What seemed to be single mum, judging by the stressed out behavior, was there with her 2 girls, both aged between 5 and 8. The girls were really enjoying shopping, touching every item, speaking to every employee and customer, goofing around really hard. Their mum kept telling them to stop and apologized every minute to somebody, getting even more stressed. I passed by the girls. The older one played witch using a flashlight that was on display, working spells on anyone nearby. So she put her spell on me, making me a giant. I am 2.08 tall, weighing 150 kilograms. She yelled, "Mum, look, it worked." I made him big. I was already laughing. What really made me die laughing inside was when Mum, ultimately stressed, apologized on autopilot while doing the shopping, looked up and I saw her face, trying to look sincere while hiding her laughter. 6'9" and 330 pounds for us Americans Reading, unless I got my converting wrong. I was cosplaying as the 11th Doctor at a Renaissance festival. This troupe of dancers glided past me and greeted me as the good physician, IDKY, but just how in character they were made me laugh so hard internally. Edit. No, it's not a reference to the Good Doctor. Yes, it is a reference to Doctor Who. What the heck happened to this thread? didn't tell me straight but only overheard. So this guy was talking to his phone and IDKY, but his face looked so serious and he was almost red as tomato. He anger. The phone was on loudspeaker mode. I forgot what to call the thingy when you call someone. And he and the one he's talking to was arguing over that green guy who owned a swamp and has a donkey friend, and the guy on his phone was saying its name was Shrek. And he was saying it was called a Smurf. They were screaming to each other and people just ignore them and get confused. I'm picturing a train full of people trying very hard to ignore two grown men in a shouting match on speakerphone over whether it's Shrek or Smurf while you quietly stifle giggles. You just made my day. You have been visited by the juicy pupper of tasty fruits. Comment stay juicy pupper and all your fruit will stay juicy. I hope you enjoyed the video and did not die from laughing. If you did, R.I.P. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video, or don't. Either way, have a great day you magnificent people.